Whitby. To the casual tourist, it's a postcard of red-tiled roofs, salty air and the kitsch glamour of the goth weekend. But as the North Sea wind begins to howl through the narrow yards and wynds, the town reveals its true face. This is the town that Bram Stoker saw in 1890. A place where the land literally ends and the nightmare begins. It's a town built on contradictions. The holy light of the Abbey perched above the dark, occult trade of the harbour. Here, the soil is so saturated with the dead, the cliffs themselves are vomiting up Victorian coffins into the sea below. This is not just a seaside retreat, it's a Gothic cathedral of the north, where every cobblestone has been slicked with the blood of sailors and the tears of widows. Tonight, we climb the 199 steps to uncover 5 legends that prove Whitby is a place where the barrier between the salt water and the spirit world has dissolved entirely. The phosphorescent abbess. We begin at the summit, amidst the skeletal lancet windows of Whitby Abbey. Founded in 675 AD, this was the domain of Saint Hilda, a woman of such power that legend says she turned a plague of snakes into the coiled stones the Ammonites found on the beach below. But Hilda never truly left her sanctuary. For over 1,000 years, fishermen navigating the treacherous harbour entrance have looked up to the highest north-facing window of the ruins. There, framed by the jagged stone, stands a figure in a brilliant snow-white habit. She doesn't move, she doesn't beckon. She radiates a cold, actinic light that pierces through the thickest sea air. To see the White Lady in a calm sea is a blessing of safe passage, but to see her during a gale, her white robes whipping in a wind that doesn't touch the ruins, is a death sentence. It's the Abbey's way of marking the sea's next harvest. The Hound of the Khyber Pass. Beneath the Abbey, in the labyrinth Khyber Pass, and the shadow of the 199 steps, lives a creature older than the town itself. This is the Barghest. It's not a ghost of a man, but a primal entity, a massive jet black hound with eyes like burning sulphur and a coat as thick as the sea moss. Folklore says the Barghest is a shook, a harbinger of the grave. Its presence is preceded by the sound of a heavy iron chain being dragged over cobblestones, a sound that clinks like a hangman's noose. Bram Stoker sat in the Royal Hotel and watched a real-life shipwreck. The Demeter crashed into the sounds, imagining a great dog leaping from the deck. But the locals already knew the truth. When the Barghest howls from the cliff top, it isn't the sound of hunger, it's a tolling bell. If you hear it twice, a door in the town has been marked for a funeral. The Hand of Glory. In a quiet corner of the Whitby Museum sits an object that radiates a low-frequency dread. The Hand of Glory. This is a literal piece of human anatomy. The desiccated, mummified right hand of a man who died on the gallows. In the 1700s, Whitby burglars believed in dark alchemy. If you coated this hand in the rendered fat of a hanged murderer and used the fingers as wicks for the candle, the flame would put every inhabitant of a house into a death-like trance. It's the ultimate tool of the predator. While the hand now rests behind thick glass, the spirit of the hand is said to wander the museum's Victorian corridors at night. Staff have reported the smell of burning tallow and the sight of a flickering, yellowish light moving through the natural history wing, as if the thief is still trying to find a door to unlock, or the hanged man is looking for the part of himself that was turned into a candle. The Phantom Coach. We return to the East Cliff, to the leaning, salt-eroded tombstones of St. Mary's Churchyard. This is a graveyard in motion. Over the centuries, the cliff has crumbled, and local history is filled with the macabre sight of human remains falling from the heights onto the beach below. And it is here that the Phantom Coach appears. Drawn by 4 powerful black horses, each one missing its head, the carriage is a silent midnight black blur. It doesn't follow the roads. It gallops directly over the graves, the wheels sparking against the headstone. The driver is a faceless cloaked figure who steers the carriage to the very brink of the cliff before plunging into the void. This isn't a haunting of malice, but of duty. The coach is the bone gatherer, collecting the spirits of those whose physical body was claimed by the sea, ensuring that even if the bones are lost to the tide, the souls are brought back to the sanctity of the hill. The salt-bloated warning. Our final legend haunts the West Pier, the stone arm that reaches out into the unforgiving North Sea. Whitby's wealth was built on the lives of sailors, and the sea has a long memory. During the most violent gales, when the waves are high enough to swallow the lighthouse, a man is seen standing on the very edge of the pier. He wears the heavy, bright yellow oilskins of a 19th century trawlerman and a wide-brimmed sou'wester hat. He sits perfectly still against the winds that could throw a living man into the rocks. When concerned onlookers shout for him to get back, he slowly turns. His skin is the colour of wet parchment, bloated and encrusted with barnacles and salt. He raises a hand towards the horizon, pointing at an invisible ship, before a wave crashes over him. When the spray clears, the pier is empty. He's a residual echo of a man who spent his last breath warning a ship that had already been lost. Whitby is a town of shadows and salt. A place where every high tide brings a new story, and every low tide reveals an old secret. Which of these legends will keep you awake tonight? The saint in the window? The beast on the steps? Let me know in the comments. And if you're ever on the West Pier and see a man in yellow, don't shout. He already knows what's coming. Stay close to the Northern Spectre, and we'll keep the lights on for now.